Hey guys, got something important here I want to share with you for a second. I'm Jeff Hampton with the Hampton Law Firm. Listen, I just had a meeting with a client not too long ago, just a short while ago, and a lot of these questions were brought up, and sometimes I just kind of make assumptions that people are aware of some of these things, and of course not. Why would anyone know? So one of the things that happens, maybe if you're facing a DWI in Tarrant County right now, people ask, well, what happens if my driver's license, is there any ramifications or repercussions to my driver's license if I'm arrested for a DWI? How do I protect my license? Great question. So I want to take a few minutes to share with you for a moment in this video what you need to do to protect your license from being suspended if you're arrested for a DWI in Texas. Now, I'll explain the law. Here's the thing, take a couple of minutes. I'm going to explain the law that nobody told you about that leads to this 15-day requirement. There is and I'll get into it in a minute. There's a 15-day requirement, a 15-day deadline, and I'm going to walk you through step by step what you need to do to give yourself a chance to save your driver's license. Now, some people will stop me in this situation if I had a consult with them, and they'll stop me and they'll say, well, what if I don't remember if I got any paperwork from my police officer from the jail? What if I don't have any of this information? What if I don't have what you're about to show me in my possession? It's okay. There's still things that you can do to protect your license. If you wait till the very end of this video, if you wait to the very end of it all, I want to be able to give you information about how to file for your administrative driver's license on your own, okay? On your own. Even if you're not able to hire an attorney right now, listen, if you do need assistance with this, we at the Hampton Law Firm, we are certainly willing and ready to help you with it. You can call us, but I understand if you want to do it on your own and you're not really ready to hire a lawyer, no problem. We understand that. So let's get into this for a second. If you've been arrested recently, I want you to stop right where you're at, go back and get your paperwork that the police officer or the jail staff gave you the night you were arrested. And what you do, I want you to go back and look and notice the arrest date, which I'm sure you remember what the arrest date was. You need to mark 15 days, 15 calendar days from the date of your arrest. Mark 15 days into the future. You need to circle that 15th day, and you need to make sure you've made a request for an administrative license hearing from the Texas Department of Public Safety. That needs to be done before you lose your driver's license. It's very important. Now, I want you to go through your paperwork, and I want you to notice here, there's a couple of things. You see this paperwork here, temporary notice of suspension, temporary driving permit. Then they should have also given you this. It's called a statutory warning form, okay? These are two of the pieces of paper they should have provided you whenever you were arrested. And the reason why I bring this up is, in that paperwork, notice that the fine print at the very bottom, I've underlined this. I've underlined it. It's kind of hard to read. I know it's kind of hard to evaluate what I'm saying there because it's hard to fit all this on the screen. But if you notice that, I circled that portion. I highlighted that portion right there. And if you look at that, what it says is that you have 15 days, I'll read it to you. The request for hearing must be received by the Texas Department of Public Safety no later than 15 days after you receive or are presumed to have received notice of suspension. Failure to request a hearing within this time is a waiver of your right to a hearing. So if you don't make that request within 15 days, you've got no chance. There's nothing you can do about it. Most people don't even know. They don't read that bottom portion of this of this on here, and they never even know that they were supposed to do that. Critical. Don't miss it. 15 days. Now, I know you're probably frustrated. You're saying, where does this come from? No one knows. I mean, how does anyone know that there's this 15-day rule in effect? Well, let me tell you what the law says. There's something called the Texas Implied Consent Law. Basically, under Texas law, every citizen, let me go over this with you, every citizen impliedly consents to give a sample of his breath, blood, or urine to a police officer if there's probable cause to believe they've been driving while intoxicated. Now, be honest, you ever heard of that law? No way. I'd never heard of it either. I mean, I had gone through law school. No one ever said anything about that. It wasn't until I started practicing law that I'd ever even heard of such a thing. And I dare say many lawyers don't even know about it right now. So here's how it works. When the police officer asks you for a sample of your breath, blood, or urine, if you consent to this request, your license can still be suspended if your blood alcohol level was 0.08 or higher. Now, what if you refused a DWI breath or blood test at the time it was requested? In this situation, in order for your license to be suspended, the Texas Department of Public Safety attorney will have to prove that there was reasonable suspicion for the officer to pull you over. They had to have a good reason to pull you over and to investigate you, and there had to be probable cause to arrest you. Finally, the officer must also have read you this statutory warning form. This paperwork right here, he must have read that statutory warning form to you and explaining your rights, giving you an opportunity to accept or to refuse a breath or blood test. If there are any problems proving these elements that I've gone over with you right now, you could still avoid having your Texas driver's license being suspended. Now, the next question you're going to ask, and I know this is the next question, what if it is suspended? Can I still drive? Absolutely, you can still drive. Problem is, you're going to have to get something called an occupational driver's license. So now you could attempt to do this by yourself. It's an involved process. If you would like assistance with that, don't hesitate to call the Hampton Law Firm at 817-877-5200. We can walk you through this and try to help you through that if you'd like that assistance. But regardless, here's one of the things you're going to have. Number one, to get an occupational driver's license, you're going to have to get an SR22 insurance. SR22 insurance. You're going to have to type that in on Google. Texas SR22 insurance. Get the cheapest guy you can get. Cheapest one out there. Get your Texas SR22 insurance. It's a form of high-risk insurance that's required if your license is suspended for a DWI. You may also be required, depending upon your situation, what court you're in, what type of DWI charge you have, you may be required to get what's called a DWI ignition interlock device installed on your vehicle. Now, quick tip. One of the things to be careful about, don't call your own insurance company on SR22 insurance. Because one of the things that company could do, if they decided to do so, you're tipping them off that you've been arrested for a DWI. They could raise your rates. They could choose to cancel you. There's all kinds of things that could negatively affect you if you call your current insurance company. Now, what if you don't remember getting a statutory warning form? What if you didn't get this paperwork? And I sometimes run into clients who did not get any of this paperwork. You could still possibly save your license. Now, that's harder to do if you want to do this on your own, but you can still make a request to the Texas Department of Public Safety, even if you don't have that form in your possession. It may make it harder to get a hearing date approved, but I want you to know it is still a possibility. Now, one of the things I told you where to send the request, if you look at this, I'm going to give it to you now in case you want to send it on your own. You see right up here? You see this area up here that talks about where you have to send the request to? You can jot that down, okay? All right. And then the other thing I want you to do, if you're interested in being able to make that request on your own and you're not able to do that, you're not able to have an attorney assist you with that process now, I promised you if you would wait till the end of this video, I would give you the form you need to make a license request hearing on your own. So here's what you do. Click the link below. Click the link right below right now. If you click the link, follow the prompts that are there. It'll give you the form that you need to fill out the form and send it to Texas Department of Public Safety. Now be careful if you do it on your own, make sure you fill it out completely. It's got to be done detailed. If you leave anything off of there, there's a chance you'd be denied for not filling it out properly. All right, folks, I hope this has helped you. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Take care.